Welcome back to another episode of the Know Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Kendall Aaliyah.
And I'm Julia Renee.
I almost fell over the desk today.
Are your headphones cracky too? Okay. Yours are always cracky.
As you started talking, I was like, oh, I also can barely hear out of mine. We're having some technical difficulties. I feel like we've been doing this podcast for this will be our second year.
It's been a while.
Later this year, which is crazy. But I feel like these headphones have given up. They're slowly dying away.
They're slowly giving up on us. In my ears right now, I'm underwater and cracky.
Mine, I hear you fine, but quietly in my right. And I think I realized as we started, I don't think I can hear in my left, but it's okay.
Oh, great.
If we just stumble on our words, I'm blaming the headphones. I'm not blaming my speech.
Because I can hear her in my earpiece right now.
No, it's odd.
But yeah, welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today feels like an actual morning. It feels like it's 7 a.m. right now.
Kind
and
of.
I realize it's not, but I'm having a tired day today.
Yeah, I've just been tired. It seems like for months now.
That's what prep will do to you. I don't blame you. How's your prep going? I want to hear.
It's going. I've just been so sleepy lately. I've been taking naps and I never take naps. The other day, I think it was Monday, we usually have our group call on Monday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And I got back from my workout and I slept from 5 to 6. The dogs are barking if you can hear them. It wasn't a full sleep, but it was close your eyes in and out. And then Zach woke me up and I was like, huh. I
love a nap.
Yeah, I don't mind them. And I always wondered, how are those people that they set a 15-minute
that's me
nap alarm and then just get up and they're ready to go. For me, I'm nah, it's
I have
bedtime.
to take a 15 to 25 minute nap. Usually not 15, 20 to 25.
Do you take one almost every day?
No, no. But I go through periods. If I'm training really hard or if my work schedule is especially demanding, yes, because then I just notice I'm so exhausted by the end of the day and I still have work to do versus if I just take that 25 minutes, then I'm able to reset, if that makes sense. But if it's over, if I'm napping for an hour, I'm tired the rest of the day after waking up.
Yeah, I think that's because for me, it's if I'm going to lay down, that's it. It's lights out for me. So I think that's why I never take naps. Even Zach took a nap yesterday because he's been traveling so much. I think both of us we're exhausted. Yesterday, we were so exhausted. We asked one of our business coaching clients if we could move our call to this evening.
Yeah.
Because both of us have just been we haven't really seen each other.
Yeah.
Every weekend that I'm traveling, he's traveling. And I'm traveling. Well, we're traveling, right?
Yeah.
This weekend. And he's going to be here and he was going to be. So it's we keep switching and we haven't spent any time together. And I can tell that he misses me.
Question mark.
Yeah, because
it's good that you guys are recognizing that though. I feel when burnout happens, it's because you ignore all those things and then you hit this wall of I literally can't do anything else.
And for him, he can go without having to decompress more than me.
Yeah.
I need to do it more often, especially when there's people involved because I get very exhausted from
I'm
people.
Already mentally preparing for this weekend.
I know. We have so far.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out,
I was going to say it'll be out already.
I'm pretty sure it'll be done already,
Yeah.
but we're doing a posing seminar in Houston, June 2nd. So it's probably already done by the time you guys hear this, but we already have 64. And that was
crazy.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
When I texted you, I was panicking because I was
Julia was could you please maybe possibly be my little posing assistant? And I was of course.
I was I don't know if I can handle 64,
I can't
posing
imagine.
64 people at one time. I have a call with the guy today to go over logistics on okay, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, because I've been to that gym a few times and I know they just renovated, which is why I think they're doing this big event. But it's a big-ish gym, but with the equipment there, I'm how are we posing this many people?
I know.
How are this many people
that's
fitting
just
there?
for wellness.
Yeah.
There's bikini, there's men's physique.
That's awesome though.
All of those
That's
things.
huge for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun, and I'm excited to go to Houston and all that jazz.
Are ya?
Yeah.
After that, we can take as many naps as you need.
I know.
Take all the if you want to drive down together, I can drive. You can chill in the passenger seat, be my passenger princess.
I'll just nap with my eyes open.
Do you get nervous for things like that? Last question on this, and then I won't make you talk about how busy you are.
I don't usually get nervous for it. No, it's more so I want to make sure that I like reserve my energy for them when I see them. Makes sense. So the days leading up to that, usually leading up to an event, I like plan it so that I can reserve energy.
You're like extra quiet the day before.
So that I can save it for them. Yeah. Like that's kind of how I do it.
That makes total sense.
For most events, I think.
I want to talk a little bit about hybrid training. Have you seen like a lot of videos or like reels, TikToks about like how more people are doing hybrid training? So like hybrid training meaning like not just one thing. Like you're not just a runner or you're not just a bodybuilder.
What is this? But why would you do that? No, I'm just kidding.
So I've been trying to integrate like a little more like functional movements into my workout plan. And it feels weird because I've been bodybuilding, like strictly weightlifting for 8 years now, I think, around that, or at least taking it seriously for 8 years and knowing what I'm doing. And this is the first time I'm like enjoying running. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then like adding in some more like HIIT workouts and like just some movements I haven't done since I was like in actual sports back in the day. Yes. And it feels really good. And I get the appeal and I get the hype around it. But I feel like everyone I know right now, like my whole feed is people trying running for the first time. And I don't know like if it's just the people I follow or if there's like an actual like running way, like even you're running, even I'm running. Yes. Who would have thought?
Yeah. It's like, is there a running wave happening or is it just like you just had blinders on before and you didn't
exactly.
see?
I'm like, now that I'm a runner, suddenly everyone's a runner. But there's also like these huge run clubs popping up here in Austin.
So this weekend
is also
this weekend at Lift ATX. So I did this thing this past weekend where I worked out with a follower and it was a surprise for her 40th birthday. So when I showed up, like she didn't know like it was going to be me. So when I showed up, Lift ATX, which is my like bodybuilding, kind of gym, powerlifting gym. They were hosting like the run club. It was packed on a Saturday at 11 a.m. And I was like, what are you guys doing awake this early in the morning?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Why are you running?
Why are you running in my weightlifting gym? No, I'm just kidding. But it is weird.
Because that's Anaka. I don't know if you know that. Anaka, like the brand, had put on that run event in Austin. And that was like a bodybuilding
It was
brand.
a bodybuilding gym.
Brand and gym.
Oh, yes, you're right. Anaka is a bodybuilding brand and the gym was a bodybuilding gym.
Yeah.
So it was weird because when I started walking up, people were looking at me very weirdly. Like, you do not look like you can run
it was a 5K,
mile.
I think. Yeah.
And I was like, you are correct.
Me either.
And it was kind of like this moment where I was looking at them and I was like, what are all these runners doing here?
Yeah.
And they were looking at me like, what are these bodybuilders doing here?
Yeah.
Like, it was really funny. But how do you feel about hybrid training?
I mean, I keep saying like, oh, I'm trying hybrid training. I like do one HIIT workout a week and I run like twice.
I want to like it. And I think recently, one thing that I dislike about bodybuilding is that it becomes a chore. It becomes it becomes your literal job. It becomes your job to train a specific way, and it can get boring. It can get very repetitive, and sometimes like I wish that I could do other things and go, like I remember when I first started training, like I loved doing like Pilates classes and stuff like that.
That too, that's another thing I'm adding into
Pilates
my routine.
is everywhere now. Like people there's this new wave of people doing it.
I credit that to Aloe Yoga single-handedly.
Yes.
And Miley Cyrus.
It's very, very challenging. Like I remember when I did it, it's because you move your body in a different way that you're not used to. I'm used to lifting very heavy, standing in one place, but you go to something completely different and you're humbled. And
I think that's what it is. I think it's a new challenge for me because like I'm not actively competing in bodybuilding and I still love weightlifting and nothing is changing about my actual weightlifting days. I think I just got a little bored of like doing the same weights every week. Cause like, yes, I'm pushing myself and I'm progressive overloading, but there's only so much you can do after 8 years of being in the, like, I'm not seeing like crazy weight increases. So now it's this new outlet of like, my run time is getting better every time I run, or like little victories of, I did like a YouTube video where I ran a few days ago, and it was my first time running 2 miles without stopping. And like I ran really slow, but I didn't stop. And I was like, it's fun having these like new wins, because it's been a long time since I was making weightlifting wins.
Since you've had like a win with like a squat or like because or like a shoulder press or something. And there's so many other things that we could be winning at that we're just not doing.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily winning. Like, I don't know if I'd be winning at running, but accomplishing. And I think that you're right. At a certain point in bodybuilding too, I'm not trying to get bigger in certain areas.
Yeah, like you just have to maintain that.
Yeah, there's some times where I go and do my upper body days, and like I do miss those moments where I there was a point where I did 70-pound dumbbell shoulder presses.
Insane.
70 pounds like on each side.
40 pounds more than I do.
That was me like in my prime when I was like still putting on muscle. Like I was starting to bodybuild and that's when it was still exciting. And I actually was having this conversation with Zach last night, and I said, I just want it to be exciting again. Like I need to find a way to make it exciting again, because a lot of my weeks, it's the same thing over and over. And sometimes I get bored of it. And then sometimes I have moments where I'm like excited about it again.
It's funny because that's what YouTube did for me. And I feel like you've also been doing YouTube for so long. I'm sure it blends, because YouTube has been that new excited thing where it's like, oh, I get to film my workout. Like that's a new exciting edge to my workout today is like, oh, I get to like bring my mic and talk, but like also you're so used to that. So I completely get it. Yeah. But yeah, hybrid training, I think I've just been also doing research on like the benefit side, and I can already tell my heart health, like I'm not huffing and puffing up these stairs anymore. And I'm like, what a win, because like I hated cardio, and now it's like a fun way to do cardio is doing like HIIT workouts or trying new things. And I did sign up for a Pilates class, haven't gone yet, but I'm nervous and excited.
Are you going to do the Pilates that's on like the machine?
It's called a reformer.
Reformer, yes.
Yeah.
I loved those.
I kind of want to like learn how to instruct Pilates too. I think it would just be like good to have in my wheelhouse.
You look like a Pilates girl.
Do I?
Yeah. You look like you'd be a Pilates
Thanks
girl.
so much.
Yeah. You just have the frame.
Well, thanks. I'm just tall.
I think that's it. Yeah, it's like the tall, lean. If I taught Pilates,
you think I'm lean?
People would be like, "The fuck you doing here?"
I disagree. Well, also you do yoga, and yoga is something I have like warded off forever, and I feel like I should try it. So I'm trying new things is the moral, and it's fun being a newbie to things and like being a beginner and being nervous. Yeah. I feel like back to when I started bodybuilding. That's how
I feel when I go to yoga. Everyone's like twisting like a pretzel, and I'm like, okay.
I'm just gonna slightly lean here.
I'm gonna hold that for a little bit, but yeah, I think I just need to add something to my routine that keeps it interesting and different, because I do the same thing every week.
So that too, what I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you feel the same way, and I don't think we have any gym owners that listen to this from Austin. So, but if you do, I love you all. And I think the gyms here are amazing. I am sick of all of them. I'm so bored of the gyms we have. And like, I'm someone that rotates gyms every few months. And I feel like just compared to like Houston or LA, like these fitness capitals are like lacking in the gym department.
Yeah. We don't have as many.
I would say we have like 4. We have like 4 bodybuilding / influencer S gyms where you won't be looked at like you have 5 heads if you bring in a tripod. Yeah. And of those 4, I like have rotated through all of them enough, and I am over all of them. And like part of me so badly wants to like build a home gym or like just have like my own. I wish like my neighborhood had like one of those like apartment gyms or something. Yeah. Like I just want like something different, because I'm like sick of having the same look every time I go to any gym. And like when I do film, it's always like in the same corner, and I'm just over it. That's how I'm feeling right now. And I feel like that's why I also was like, let's try running or like doing like getting out of this gym setting, because I'm just like bored. Yeah. I'm just really bored.
I have noticed that too, that like I'll even sometimes switch up which gym I do cardio at. Like it's so small, but like I have 2 golds that are like near me, and I'll just like switch up which one that I go to. Like, and it's kind of crazy. Like it's something super small, but I have to do my cardio anyways. And
change of scenery,
change of scenery, and it also it feels like you're not a robot like doing the same thing, because in prep it can feel like you're a robot doing the same thing because you kind of are.
Yeah, and you see the same people. Like it just gets so repetitive.
Yes.
And I know, and I realize it's like a luxury to be able to even switch gyms or have multiple gyms. I know there's plenty of states and towns and cities out there where you only have like one as your option. I remember growing up when I was getting into fitness, we had one gym in our like whole surrounding 3 towns, and it was like a 30-minute drive away. And so I understand the luxury of having multiple gyms. I think I'm just ready to be by myself. I think I'm just over people, maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, we are going to Houston this weekend, so there's different gyms there.
Yes, and I'm so excited. And like that gym that is hosting the posing event.
I've never been there.
I haven't been there in like years. And my mom passed it like semi-recently and was like, it is not how I remembered. So I feel like it's like they've completely changed, which I'm excited to see.
Has a lot of different gyms too, like a lot more than Austin does.
The last thing I want to talk about as far as my life currently, I had like a backhanded compliment kind of given to me like yesterday, and it ruined my whole day. Man. I feel like I've gotten a lot better about like rolling with the punches kind of, or like if I see something, I ignore it. But it was one of those that just like, I felt okay at first and like pushed it off.
You're and like, then, no, I'm fine. No, I'm fine.
And then like the little dig kept coming back like every few hours. And then like last night I was just wide awake in bed, like spiraling. Like it just like festered and festered until it became too much. And I just want to share that is normal. I feel like we talk a lot about like not paying any attention to negative comments and like loving ourselves and not letting things get to us. But there are still definitely days like yesterday where like you can get triggered still and let it affect you. And I think all I had to do was like pay attention to why it bothered me so much. I was like, why is this one comment like really hurting me? Yeah. And it was like something within myself and something I was already telling myself. And almost their like negative comment justified me being mean to myself.
That's usually when you usually get offended by something that somebody else says, it's usually because there's some truth to it. It doesn't mean that it's actually something that is true about you. So say someone leaves a comment, and like, what's something common that we get? Like, I'm trying to think.
I get a lot about like this wasn't what this one was about, but like my physique, like, oh, you're a fitness girl and your physique looks like that.
Okay,
basically.
So say you get like a comment that like, oh, you're a fitness girl and your physique just looks like that. Yeah. And I don't believe that to be true about you, but there might be some underlying
where like I know I've lost some muscle and I'm like, damn.
You've kind of thought about that yourself. Maybe you've seen like other people on Instagram, like who are like bodybuilders who've been doing this for years, and you'll see their physique. You compare it to yours. So there's some underlying truth to it in the sense of you've thought it already about yourself.
Yeah.
And I noticed that about me too.
Yeah. They just sting a little more.
The ones that you lay awake at night thinking about, you're like, well, maybe it's because I've thought that about myself at some point.
Overall, I think I've gotten better about not letting them like penetrate the shell of me. Yeah. But yesterday it hit and it was not fun.
Yeah. And I feel like they hit you more too, especially when you're in already a place where you're like kind of feeling a little down and a little like me. And then you read something and you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everything is over. It's kind of like when you've already had, like, I remember for me, there was this one day where I had like an atrocious day. Everything was just like going wrong, but I was holding it in, like, you know, trying to just continue to move past it. And then I remember it was like the end of the day and I dropped something like in the kitchen. That was your last straw. Like I dropped something and it was like my fork. And that was that was the thing that broke me. But really it was all these other little things that happened during the day that I ignored. And it was the fork that threw me over. over the
I had
edge.
a day like that. Like this was like 2 months ago, but I still distinctly remember it because I was having one of those days where like nothing was going my way. My mood was not it. And I was like really trying to be overly positive.
Like,
I was
okay,
like, I got this.
It's fine.
And then I got home and my dog pooped inside.
Yes.
And I was like, this is it. And then I just let it all unleash where I was like, this happened and that happened and you pooped on the floor and I'm over it. And then I cleaned it up and I felt better.
Yes, exactly. It's always like that one little thing.
That last thing.
At the end of the day that you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
I get that way a lot, to be honest. But usually I'm okay if that last thing doesn't happen. If that last thing pushes me, I'm over it.
There's also this one thing. Okay, so there is this video that someone sent me.
Okay.
And I gotta pull it up because it's honestly crazy. And if you go to our stories, it's going to be there. So don't you worry.
Reminder, Know Your Power podcast on Instagram. We put everything on our stories. Half of the time I'm like, oh, I'll put it on the screen. Half of the time I don't. I forget. But Chloe's amazing and she puts it on the story. Mm-hmm. So if we ever talk about anything and you're like, huh? Or like, oh, I need to see that. I need a visual. Go over to Instagram and the day we post, it's always on there. And then they're saved as little highlights.
Yep.
So you can go back if you don't watch this on the day we upload.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just a little refresher.
Yeah. So someone sent me this and it's a video of this girl. The creator's name is Dolly Blondie and she's at the gym and she's doing like shoulder presses and she already has her camera set up. And there's this guy that's like coming up to her and he can't see that she's filming. Mm-hmm. And it's like the camera is facing her and she's trying to like get to her set. And he's like talking to her about like dieting and like doing cardio. And the text on screen says, guy at the gym told me to do cardio and lose 20 pounds. Because I don't know like how this conversation with him got started, but she's honestly being pretty nice considering what he's saying. He's not like lose 20 pounds, but he's like, you could lose 20, lose just 20 pounds, maybe do a little bit of cardio, like trying to give her advice on losing weight, even though she didn't ask. Mm-hmm. And then there's also like a part 2 and there's a part 3. And the comments are saying like, I'm confused. Does he not see that there's a camera or is he staring at himself in the mirror the whole time? Because what I'm thinking is that the camera is in selfie mode and it's like right in front of her while she's doing shoulder press, but he's off to the side and he's like talking to her. So I don't think he even knows it's on. Yeah, he's talking at her. So what are your thoughts on that?
I just think, we've talked about it before. Unsolicited advice is never advised over here. I also think about commenting on people's weight is never advised over here. I think everything about this is wrong personally. I think I need a little context of like, is it a friend of yours? And have you been talking to them about losing weight and this just like happens to be the clip? But I also feel like she wouldn't post it if that was the case. You know?
I feel like maybe it's somebody who's in the gym and they've maybe seen each other before because the way that they're talking is kind of comfortable. I feel like it might be, those people that you see at the gym that you just kind of like the hey people.
They sometimes
but it's
ask
nothing,
you a question.
Nothing deeper, but he's like mansplaining, like being in like a caloric deficit and losing weight and stuff like that. And she's kind of, it's really funny because the way that she's responding back to him is like, oh yeah, okay. So, okay, just lose 20 pounds? That's it? Okay. And he's not even registering it at all. It's hilarious.
The comments on videos like that are always my favorite because they're always like, you're a better woman than me.
Yes.
Like I would have tore him to shreds or like I would have like done this or that or been like pissed off. But people I feel like that have patience in those situations, I have like the utmost respect for.
This one says, in quotations, because I think that she said this to the guy. Mm-hmm. It says, really? Is that how you lose weight?
Like, oh, really?
And then the person says, God, I didn't sprinkle me with patience. Bravo.
See, exactly. Yeah. I do not have I'm never mean to people, but I'm like, I'm putting my headphones back in and just pretending you're not speaking to me.
Someone commented, show him. I want to see his hairline.
I love people.
And then another one says,
people defending other people.
That the way that you were talking down to him and he didn't even register it because she starts the video like she's flexing, like she's feeling herself, she's lifting heavy. And then he's talking about like this is how you lose weight, and you should lose weight and do some cardio and stuff. And I think he's like more so mansplaining like how to do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh really?
There's actually 2 viral videos I've seen, similar but in different fields. So one of them was, she's a professional golfer, and she was like at a range, like doing what's called pause swings, because she's trying to adjust something in like her swing of one of her clubs. So a pause swing is like she's intentionally like going slow and pausing at the top. This man comes up and just goes, can I give you some advice on your swing? And she goes, no. And he goes, oh, but I think, she goes, I said, no, I'm good, but thank you so much. And like, he kept trying and being like, well, I think you should. And she's like, I'm totally okay. Thank you so much for offering.
It's crazy how he could not take no for an answer.
He was like, must tell her that she's pausing. She's like,
mansplain.
So she woman-splains back and is basically like, I'm just adjusting something in my swing right now. Like, I don't, like, we're good.
I would have thrown I'm a motherfucking professional golfer.
Exactly. I couldn't keep that to myself.
No, I wouldn't. I would have screamed it from the rooftops.
The second one I saw, I haven't watched the full video of, because all of these videos kind of like trigger me. So I get the gist and I swipe on. Mm-hmm. But it was a similar thing, except she was a skateboarder. And same thing, this guy comes up and is like, oh, can I tell you how to do this? And she's like, no. Like, I also love, because I'm such a people pleaser, I love the idea of saying no when people offer me advice, because I always sit there and I take it, and I take the whole spiel. And then
you watch
I'm stuck
it
there
and you're
forever.
like looking at them like, I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah, exactly. I think I admire the fact that they're like, no, I don't feel the need to get your advice. Like, and they say it respectfully. They're like, no, I'm good. Yeah.
And they're like, I wasn't expecting that answer.
Exactly.
I do not accept your no.
Exactly.
Anyway, so this is how you diet. And
like, they really, like, I think it hurts their ego a little bit.
It's like they can't. Yeah. It's like they're like itching. You're like, must tell you how to do.
It's so funny.
Need to tell you how to live your life so that I can feel like a man.
And then the last thing I was gonna add is, and like, this made me feel so good, because again, back to like the hate comments thing, and sometimes they get to me. I started posting like shorts on YouTube, because I was like, why not? Like, I forget those are a thing sometimes. And I posted this one, and it's literally just like a montage of me working out. Like, one I've posted on Instagram, and it like is literally just my upper body workout. And one of the first comments I got like right after posting it was something about like, guys don't find this attractive anymore, give up. And I was like,
oh my goodness, they don't?
Exactly.
Oh no. You know what? I got to change everything I do.
I must change my career.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow lose this muscle mass I've been training 10 years for.
Men don't like it. Oh my goodness. Every day I wake up, I just think to myself, what would all the guys want me to do with my life?
How do they want me to look?
Dang. Yeah, you're right.
So I went, okay.
I gotta tell you one. So the way that I handle those kinds of comments when people try to tell me how to live my life, you know, I will be like, for humor, I'll be like, oh my God, let me run and go change that about myself. And I put the run emoji.
Yeah.
So there is this one, you know how I was obsessed with that song, So I did a short on YouTube using that song because I loved it so much. Someone's comment was
it about the song?
Why do you have to use that song? It's everywhere. Can't you just be original?
This person doesn't know how social media works.
I'm obsessed with that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. And it was like, my sister commented back as me, and she was like, oh, let me just go run and like change the whole song for you.
Let me write a new song for you. But.
And he didn't get the sarcasm, and he goes, no, you don't have to go and change it. And I was like, bro.
Wait, that too. Okay, 2 things about hate comments. One, what I was going to say, and I'll just like get this out of the way. On that short, when I was going back to defend myself, because I'm not one of the patient girls that is like so nice back. I don't know. I was making something snarky about like, oh yes, because I do this for men. Like, how nice of you to give me the advice. As I was about to comment, like 4 responses already defending me. Yeah. And I was like, let's go.
You're like, I don't even have to. I'm out of a job.
I think that was the first time I've seen people actually like come to my defense, and they were ripping this person to shreds.
It's crazy.
And I was like, let's go. Like, that just feels good as a creator to reach that level where I don't always have to fight my own battles.
You don't even have to. They're like, no, girl, I got you.
Yeah. And then what else was I going to say? I already lost it. Yeah,
I was talking about
it.
the sarcastic comment that he never even registered and was like, no, you don't have to change the song.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Every time I've gotten like a genuine hate comment, like they're really coming for me, I respond so nicely and like try to explain myself. Like one time it was about like a photo of me taking a squat. I remember this one very specifically. And they like were commenting about my squat form. And I like responded and I said like, haha, this is a brand deal. As you can tell by the caption, I had to take this photo squatting with this belt. Thank you for your advice. I agree, but I was not doing a real squat. Like this is clearly a photo shoot. Mm-hmm. And he responds with like, I am so sorry. And you are so like, I feel like when you meet hate, because his first comment was really aggressive. I feel like when you meet hate or like aggression with like just explaining yourself or like seeing both sides, they're like suddenly like taken aback and are like, oh, my bad for being so mean about that.
There was this one time, it's happened a few times where someone says something like a hate DM or something like that. And I DM back and I'm like completely neutral. And I said something along the lines of, if I offended you in some way that I'm not sure of, like, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
And they come back, oh my God, I never thought you would actually see this. And I'm like,
yeah,
that I don't understand.
Yeah,
like, it's like, wait, you never thought.
Then why send it?
Yes, I don't know. It's weird. It was so strange.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Hate comments. Gotta love them.
Gotta love them.
Learning to accept them.
Yes.
I want to move on to my favorite segment that we do on this now.
This favorite segment that we do.
I fully think I have found my calling. Like, I think this is my new thing. Like, I think I'm just, and not saying I'm good at them, but people in the comments did hype me up and said that I was pretty accurate.
Do this one. So I'm excited.
Here's another segment of what your gym wear says about you, part 2. And I would love to hear your inputs too. And so like, I don't know. I feel like on some of these, I'm not super familiar with the brand. So I like just went to their Instagram, did like a quick scroll, just got the vibe and went off of that. Again, this is fully for fun. I'm also not crapping on any of these brands or anyone wearing any of them. If anything, I try to like hype you up.
General like
I just
stereotypes.
Think they're funny and fun. And like, I also own all of these brands. Yeah. So like if I'm hating on anyone, it's myself. Anyway, so this is basically just like a very generalized statement. If you fall into one of these or are someone that wears one of these brands a lot, let me know in the comments if I was accurate or what you would have changed or how you view any of these. Okay, the first one we have is Bombshell.
I love this brand.
Basically, you're sexy as fuck. Like, I just picture, like, you either compete in bikini or wellness, or you're training to someday, or you're, like, in your off-season right now.
You definitely own a onesie of some sort.
For sure. And it's probably, like, pink camo, honestly. You have your hair down during your workout, and it's somehow, like, perfectly blown out. Like, I don't know how you just got, like, a blowout and then went to the gym. And, like, you're working hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, these girls train legs harder than anyone else trains legs.
But your hair doesn't move a muscle.
Somehow it is perfect in spot, or you have like that slicked back like updo, but I feel like I picture more of like a blowout. You have some cute trendy shoes on, your nails are freshly done, eyelashes freshly done, like everything about you is like to a T. It's almost that like Miami vibe, if that makes sense.
Yes.
In like a positive way, because like those beautiful, like a 10 in Miami is like a 10 worldwide. So yeah, a Miami 10 basically. And you're probably training glutes for the 3rd time this week, respectively.
And you have definitely have a booty scrunch of some sort.
A booty scrunch.
You definitely have a booty scrunch. And your shoes, they don't have one swipe of dirt on them.
The one crease.
It looks like you took a magic marker and just
like I feel like you would bring a change of shoes to do cardio in, because you don't want to ruin the fit. But you're perfect, and I'm so jealous of you.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Good job.
Thank you. That's great. The next one we have is Buff Bunny.
Okay.
You give off best friend energy because you're a girl's girl. Like I feel like just like bubbly, fun, excited to be there. I feel like these are the types of girls where like I feel like I could be myself around them and I don't feel like they would judge me at all. Like I just feel like they accept everyone, and I feel like that is partial to like Buff Bunny just being so inclusive and being one of like the first fitness brand showing different body types, skin colors, like all of it. So yeah, you have that like very friendly, bubbly energy. I don't feel like you would ever talk shit behind my back. Also, your favorite color is probably like pink or purple, and like either like a pastel or like a really neon pink or purple. Do I have anything else for them? Oh, big Starbucks drinker vibe.
Yes.
You look like you drink Starbucks. You like a pink drink.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's cute. And I can confirm, when I worked with Buff Bunny for a few years, and when I actually got to meet all the other athletes and the models, all of them were so nice. Buff Bunny, Heidi, she is exactly how you would expect her to be.
I met her once.
So nice, so sweet. Like she is her brand.
She is one of those people you meet in person, and I was like, she's not a real human being. Like she is just so perfect.
Are you real?
Yeah, and I'm like, is that a mask? Like, how is your skin that flawless, and her hair and her body and her everything? Like, she's just gorgeous.
Even tinier in person too.
Also
like,
so
even
small.
Like you want to put her in your pocket.
You could.
You're like, come here.
But I feel like she's done a great job at like branding her apparel line that way to be that like inclusive, nice girl, like sweet energy. Another thing for them is I feel like you also wear your gym wear like all day. Like it's like your athleisure. Like you go to the grocery store in that like Buff Bunny full outfit.
True.
With the bag. She also has some good bags.
You're wearing that. You have that bag and you have a snack in it.
Yes.
You definitely have a snack in it.
These girls are prepared.
Yes.
They have snacks and meals and any charger, any lotion you need. They have it all in that bag.
They're the girl that you ask if they have gum. They have gum.
They have gum.
They're the gum girls.
That's a really good. See, you're good at this. You said you couldn't, but you got it.
They're the gum girls. And when I was with Buff Bunny, I was the gum girl. Yeah, sorry.
Something changed when you moved away from them.
I then did not have gum anymore. No, just kidding.
I actually hate gum now that I'm not with. No, I'm kidding. Okay, the next one similarly is Alphalete, and even though these brands look similar, the vibe I get is so aggressively different.
Okay, one blanket statement that I'm going to say about Alphalete, you can tell that it's owned by a man.
Understood.
That's what I'm going to say.
Actually, yes, understood. And not even the apparel itself, but the branding of it.
Yes. The branding, you could like the branding and even how the women's apparel is made, you can tell that it's a man who owns the company.
That makes sense.
But I love
they have female designers,
but I love their
see
stuff.
What you're saying.
Yeah, it's just if you put them next to each other, you're like I would. Yeah, it's just.
I agree.
The branding, it's like okay, you like.
I think if you like put out a quiz and you were like select the one made by a woman, you would pick Buff Bunny like 9 out of 10 times. Anyway, okay, so my read on Alphalete wearers: you're either already an influencer or working on becoming one. You bring your tripod to the gym with you. Don't get it twisted. You still train really hard, but it is recording the entire workout. Don't get it twisted.
Don't you get it twisted.
Your shoes, similar to Bombshell, they're somehow perfect. Like they're probably white with white socks and both have never seen a stain in their life. Like it looks like you washed them before and after every single workout. You probably have like a cute little matching sports bra and hat to match your Alphalete shorts.
Yeah. Maybe the slicked hair, definitely the headphones that cover your ears.
Like the Apple headphones,
the tiny bra that's the backless one. It's either the bandeau one or it's the one that wraps around your neck and it's like that tiny backless. And then they have the leggings and they have the booty scrunched all the way up their butt.
Yes. You do readjust the booty scrunch before every set you film.
And
also.
I love that look.
Yeah, I'm not saying that isn't me.
I wish that I didn't want to rip my skin off when I wear leggings at the gym. I really wish, because that look is, I want to wear that look so bad, but also it's really hard to wear that look when you have implants. Or you have bigger boobs.
I can't even do bandeau tops. And I don't even have big boobs.
It's so difficult. Like I want to wear it so bad, but I'm like walking around the gym holding my boobs so that they don't fall out. I'm so impressed
by the girls that like train upper body with those on. I'm like, my nips would be out almost instantly.
Yes, my nips would be out almost instantly.
And like the thing is like I would be shoulder pressing and I'd look down and it'd be like around my waist.
It'd be down here.
I like do not know the wizardry that those girls keep those up. I really don't get it. But yeah, that was a good read. And those are some of the only leggings I will wear. Those are some of the only leggings that don't make me want to rip my skin off.
Yes, and I do love their shorts too because you can still hike them up your butt and They look so good.
They are some of the most flattering shorts, in my opinion. Okay, the next brand is the Navigation, which always like has just NVGTN. And for a long time, I did not know it meant navigation.
Me either.
This is a brand I haven't ever bought from.
I actually haven't either.
Yeah, but it's everywhere.
Wanting to.
So I didn't even have to look at their Instagram because I feel like I see a girl at least once every gym session that's wearing them. I think they give a similar vibe to Buff Bunny. So like, I know you're a girl's girl. They don't give off like hater energy or judgy energy. Like I feel very comfortable around these girls. I know that if you own some of their shorts, you have them at least 5 or 6 colors.
Yes.
Like you don't own one.
And your butt is huge. It's usually when you look at their butt, you're like, how is that possible? I want to know your secret. Every time I see a girl wearing these shorts in the gym, she knows every which way from Wednesday how to train glutes.
Oh, and she's like doing some like obscure hip thrust on some machine that you don't do hip thrust on, and she's making it work.
She's definitely done a, what's it called? A B stance hip thrust.
Yes. Yes. That's so good. We should assign exercises to brands. That one's so real.
That's a B stance hip thrust.
Very real.
For sure.
I also assume with the 5 or 6 colors of shorts you have or leggings, you also have the matching sports bra for all of them. And you're either training glutes or you're training back, because I feel like these girls, because they all have like the tiniest thin strap sports bras. You all have great backs.
They always have great. They're super hourglassed, but with the emphasis on every time I've seen a girl wear those shorts, it's always, for me, they have the double take glutes where you're like, how is
it the shorts? Is it them?
Yes, where it's like, how is that real? I always think about that one influencer. Her Instagram is College Clean Eating. I think of her. Yes.
And she has crazy glutes.
She has those glutes where you're like, how is this possible? I always think about her, and she seems like very sweet and adorable.
Yeah, she also has that like girl energy.
I think she's also pregnant.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be wrong because I don't think I actively follow her. She just comes up all the time. I need to follow her.
And the last time it came up, there was like a baby photo.
That's what
or
I thought
something.
too. I didn't want to be wrong.
And her boyfriend's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I know he was sponsored by Gymshark for a long time. I don't know. I don't follow him either, so I don't know like their current life. But yeah, I remember like him back in the day being like, he was kind of like the David Lade era. Yeah. Which I feel like it's still his era.
Their kid's going to be muscular and have a big butt.
So muscular.
Gonna have a big butt.
If they're having a little girl or a little boy. I love babies. Okay, anyway. I also, the last thing for navigation wearers is I feel like you're a former Gymshark girl. And then you discovered navigation and you were like, oh, those make my butt look better.
They make my butt look way better.
So you switched.
That's a good one.
Okay. The last one is Aloe Yoga. First off, you're stunning.
Yeah.
You don't know acne. You have glass skin. You don't wear makeup. You don't need to. Or if you do, it's like that clean girl, minimal looking. Like you just brushed your eyebrows.
You don't sweat.
Full eyebrows,
For
full
some
lashes.
reason, your sweat ducts, they don't exist.
No, they don't at all. You probably are wearing like the latest aloe drop. Like no way you would be caught dead in like 4 years ago aloe. Like you're in like the current drop. Like you got it this morning. It still has the tag.
You also have the matching yoga mat.
Yes. You're probably heading into a Pilates or yoga class, or you did one this morning.
But it also has the strap. You also have the strap.
Yes.
With the yoga mat.
I know what you're saying. And like the matching bag and like the hair clips in the bag and like the Stanleys in the bag. Like you got it all. If you live in California, you are definitely drinking like an Air One Hailey Bieber smoothie. If you don't live in California, you're drinking some sort of like boba tea or like green tea of some sort.
Okay.
Or matcha.
That cost like $12.
Yes. Yeah.
Or they're $15.
And you also like have a small dog in the passenger seat of your G-Wagon. Like that's just how I picture
it. What kind of dog though?
I picture like one of those like little white fluffy dogs or a Pomeranian. Aloe Yoga's big Pomeranian energy, which I love those.
That was my dream dog. Same. I wanted a Pomeranian until I found out I'm allergic to their fur.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Most dogs that are not like poodle mixes, I'm allergic to their fur. Like even Rex, like he'll make me have
I didn't
sometimes
know that.
little hives.
I've made you watch them before. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No.
You're just like, yeah, I'll watch them.
It's not like that bad, but it's like if I touch them, sometimes I'll get like little itchy hives and I'll be more sneezy.
It's not that bad. My skin just turns into scales.
But if it's like a poodle mix, because they're more hypoallergenic, it's not that bad.
They mix Pomeranians with Frenchies to make these like fluffy Frenchies. Have you ever seen those?
Flufferanians?
Yeah. And then I'm sure it's like bred down the line. Who knows? Okay.
What are they?
Palmenchi? Frenchie and Pom. I don't know.
Frenchanium.
Give up.
Floofers. That's what it is.
Anyway, those are my reads on everything you wear to the gym. Let me know if I was accurate.
Yes.
No tea to any of those. I, again, wear all of them. I don't own any navigation, but I feel like I may have to order soon.
And I feel like there's more. I just couldn't think of any other brands like at the moment because
we'll do a part 3 eventually.
Yeah. So comment down below the ones that you want Kendall, basically, to do next. And also, to wrap up this episode, we're thinking about doing another episode of embarrassing gym stories. So we want you guys to send yours in. So email us at knowyourpower@gmail.com. If you don't remember it, it's also in the description. We want to hear your embarrassing gym stories.
DM us too if you are someone who hates emailing and you still want to send it in. We still want to hear it.
Yes, and let us know if you want to be anonymous or if you don't want to. If you don't mind your name being,
I feel like it's kind of fun sharing names.
Yeah. So just let us know. We know sometimes like they can be like really creepy or embarrassing. I don't know. Whatever you guys feel. But we love you all so much and you're more powerful than you think.
Bye.